Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an everyday winter makeup look. It's all about this very dark berry lip, as you can see. But I do have a few different options in the videos for if you want to go for something a little bit sheerer and a bit more subtle, or if you want to go full on. I've kept the skin quite natural and quite fresh looking, added a bit of radiance because obviously the weather's horrible and people's skin can tend to look a little bit dull. I am using my new favourite product in the video as well, which is the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Highlighter, which I'm absolutely in love with. So if you want to see how I got the lip, keep watching. Right, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is just moisturise my lips. This is the Nuxe Robe de Miel lip balm. As it's winter and really cold, my lips have been so dry. So I'm just putting a thick layer of that on. That seems to be the only thing that's helping at the moment. Then I'm going to put on a primer, and now I'm going to use the Mercier Radiance Bronze Primer, just because my skin gets a little bit dull in the winter, and this adds like a nice radiant glow. So this is the bronze version, which is great to look really natural on darker skin tones, but it's also really good for people with fairer skin tones who just want to give their skin a little bit of extra warmth or kind of go a little bit of a shade darker. I'm just going to rub that in. I'm just using my hands here just because I want just a really light layer of it all over the place. I don't really want it to be heavy. If you have got a fairer skin tone and you still want that kind of radiant glow to your skin in a primer, but you don't want to go any darker, there's the Mercier Radiance Primer, which I've used in a video before. I'll link that one down below. That one's excellent as well. So for my base, I'm going to use the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser. This one's really nice. You get a good amount of coverage with it, but it still looks really natural on the skin. Like when I wear it, you can't really even tell that I'm wearing a base. I'm again just working this into my skin with my hands. I just find with lightweight bases this just gives the most natural finish. In the winter, if your skin's feeling a little bit on the dry side, it's really important to prep your skin well before your makeup. So add like a nice moisturiser or something like that, so just so your skin is well moisturised, because if it's not, your skin will just pull any moisture out of your makeup, and that's when it tends to kind of settle or look a bit flaky and just not last very well. So I'm then going to go in with a bit of concealer. I'm using this one, which is the Mercier Secret Concealer. It's different to the Secret Camouflage, which is kind of the one in the compact with two different shades. This one comes in a pot like this, and it's much creamier and more moisturising, but it does have a slightly lower coverage. I'm just taking a tiny bit with my finger, and I'm just going to add a little bit under my eyes. You definitely don't want to add too much, because if you add too much of any concealer, it will crease. Just a tiny bit more. The trick is to apply it just where you need it rather than everywhere. So that's my base done. It's, as I said, it's a really natural kind of everyday base. It's not full coverage. It doesn't make my skin look completely flawless, but that's not really what I want for every day. It's just to make my skin look a little bit better. So I'm just going to add a little bit of powder just to set some areas. I'm using the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. This one's translucent, so you can use it no matter what your skin tone. I'm just popping a tiny bit into the lid like that. Now this one does have hyaluronic acid in, so it's really good for actually hydrating the skin or holding moisture into the skin. A lot of powders can be very dehydrating on the skin, so this doesn't do that, which is nice. I'm just taking that on my NARS Yachio Kabuki brush. Just applying it centre of the forehead. All over my nose. A little bit under my eyes. So this is a really nice base, which looks quite nice on camera, but still looks really natural in real life as well, which I like. Then going to add a little bit of bronzer. So for that, I'm using this one. It's the Mercier Baked Blush Bronze, and it's in the shade Ritual. Now this one was a limited edition one that came out in the summer, so I don't know if you'll be able to get it still, but you can just use whatever your favourite bronzer is. So I'm just taking it on the same brush again, and I do I do something that's kind of a cross between a bit of bronzing and a bit of contouring, so just add some there. So I just like to add a little bit to my temples. Not too much, as I do want it to look really natural. Now I'm actually going to leave my blusher to last, because I find when you're wearing a bold or a dark lip, it's actually nice to do it that way. That way you can see how much you really need to complete the look, because I find if I put blusher on before and then put my lip on, I find I can sometimes have too much blusher on. So that's a nice trick to make sure you have the right amount on. So I'm going straight to highlighting. And for that, I am, yes, using this. It is the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Highlighter, which I just love, just as much as everybody else does. Taking it on the same brush again, just dabbing it in lightly because it is very, very pigmented. And then I'm just tapping the excess off onto my hand. Just going on the top of my cheekbones. Across the top of my forehead, down the centre of the nose, and then on the cupid's bow. I really do love a warm toned highlighter, so this one is gorgeous. This particular highlighters are great in the winter for just kind of brightening up dull skin. I'm now going to go on to my eyebrows. So for the whole eye look, I'm actually using this, which is the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. So I'm just going to use a shade from that for my eyebrows, because it has lots of really good matte shades. So I'm just going to take this shade here, which is on the bottom row, just next to the matte black. It's the cool toned ashy brown shade. Just on an angled brush. This is the brow brush from Real Techniques. Starting very lightly the tail end of my brow. I'm then going to go in with a bit of brow gel. For that I'm using the Ico brow gel. This one just comes in one shade. And I'm just going like that to get rid of almost all of the product from the brush, just because there's always far too much on there. And then I'm just going to brush through my brows. Just very lightly to set them in place. So onto my eye makeup. As a base, I'm going to use this. This is the Clinique Chubby Stick for Eyes in Fuller Fudge, which is number 3. It's a really nice kind of stick eyeshadow in cream formula, and a nice kind of chocolatey brown. It's got a very slight shimmer to it. So I'm just going to scribble that all over the lid. And just blend it with my finger. That's all I'm really going to do on the lid. The rest is going to be along the lash line. So because that is quite a creamy product and I didn't prime my eyelids, I'm just going to set it a little bit. Going back into this Smashbox Full Exposure palette. And I'm just going to use this shade here, which is the third along. I know it's a little bit lighter, but I don't want the eyes to go too dark for this look. And I'm using the Bobbi Brown eye blender brush, which is one of my faves. So that's just to give it a little bit of definition. So if you like doing a smoky lash line look, this is a really, really nice brush to have. It's by Kiko and it's the Eyes number 212 brush. It's got this really nice kind of flat shape to it. So it's really nice for smudging along the lash line. You can go under the eye as well. It's a really, really useful brush. It's a really useful brush to have. And it's not very expensive either. So again, going into this palette, I'm just going to take this shade here, which is the dark matte brown. Take some of that onto my Kiko brush. And I'm just going to work that along the lash line. You really don't have to be too neat with this because we're going to go back in and make sure everything's really well blended anyway. Just doing the same on the other side. I'm just going to clean the brush off just on the back of my hand. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean or anything. Just get the excess off. And then I'm just going to go along the top of that line of eyeshadow and just smudge it. Great. So next I'm taking some eyeliner. This is the Kevin Aucoin eyeliner in basic black. You can really use any black eyeliner that you like for this, but I just like this one because it smudges well. So with that, I'm just going very messily, really working it into the lash line. And then before it sets, I'm just taking a little bit more of the brown eyeshadow on the same brush to blend the eyeliner in. This seems like quite a long process, but when you're doing it not on camera, it's actually really quick and easy. It does help to do this one eye at a time so it doesn't set. And I'm just going to take whatever shadow is left on the brush and just take it slightly underneath. A really nice thing about this kind of eye makeup is it suits any eye shape, which is really useful. You don't have to worry about what suits your eye shape. So I'm next going to curl my eyelashes, and for that I'm using, of course, the Shu... Oh, are these? Yeah. And for that, of course, I'm using the Shu Uemura eyelash curlers. I'm now going in with my mascara, and for that I'm using the Ico Rock Out and Lash Out mascara. Really cheesy name, but a really, really good mascara. It's got quite a strange looking brush, which usually I won't go for, but this one really, really works, so I'm loving it. It's one of the best mascaras I've used in a while. It is a tubing mascara, which I really like, which means it doesn't smudge if you get watery eyes. It's really water resistant. But it comes off really, really easy. All you need is a bit of hot water and it just kind of peels off. I'm just going back into my Becca Champagne Pot, this time with the Bobbi Brown eye blender brush. Just taking a tiny bit of that and I'm just going to dust it on the brow bone. So now onto the fun part, the lips. So I've been loving this kind of a dark purpley red berry shade on my lips, and there are actually 3 different products. So the first is this one from Lipstick Queen. It's medieval and it's a more sheer wearable option, which is nice for when I want that dark berry lip but I don't want to look too dressed up. It looks really nice on, but it's very, very moisturising and very, very easy to wear, and it's a little bit redder. But the one I have been going for most of the time is a combination of these two. So it's the NARS Satin Lip Pencil in Palais Royale and the Laura Mercier Lip Glacé in Black Cherry. So obviously I put this one on first. So sometimes I leave it a little bit matter, just like this, or rather with a satin finish. And sometimes I like to go over it with a gloss. I find this just kind of intensifies the colour and makes it a little bit richer. Sometimes, of course, I wear just the gloss on its own, which I love as well. On my nails, I'm wearing Essie Bordeaux, which is one of my favourite nail varnishes. I think I've been wearing just this non-stop since November. I love it. So that's the finished look, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you're new. Thanks, bye!